it just gets me going, makes me feel so good. Oh, universe, welcome in to DTL Primetime Live. Week 8 is getting underway tonight in La La Land. It's where everybody is this week. I'm your boy, the coach. We're here every single primetime night, Thursday nights, Sunday nights, Monday nights, live on Stadium, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Roku TV, WatchStadium.com, the Stadium app. We are everywhere. In 2 weeks, we are adding another big platform, the announcement coming early next week. Now, tonight, it's a big-time matchup in the NFC. You've got a first-place team with the Minnesota Vikings, 5-1, coming off their first loss of the year against Detroit. They travel to a stadium about 52 miles, to be exact, from where I'm sitting right now. The Rams, but this isn't the same Rams we've seen in the last couple of weeks. They're getting some of their weapons back, so we've got a ton to discuss. We've got straight picks. We've got prop picks. We've got quarterback matchups, rushing. We got receiving. We got parlays. We got it all. And who will be the next person to get into the club tonight? So I got the best crew in the business. If you're new to our little brand, settle in. It's time for the picks. Oh, and these, it's just an embarrassment of riches tonight. First and foremost, my partner, AB. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, crew. Good to see you.
It's great to see you, too. And look at the man. He's been gone for a little bit. We've missed him. He's big on Football Friday. He's our fantasy guy, too. Best beard in the game, Soupy. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be back and give you guys some plays.
All right, and he's the man from the Dirty, Big Chuck. Charles, good evening, sir.
Evening, Coach, crew. Yeah, excited for tonight's game. I think we're going to have a good one.
I really do, too. And also, this man will be on a plane in the morning. He goes everywhere. I'm so jealous. He's the Z-Man, Jonathan Zaslow. Good evening, sir.
I am on a plane tomorrow for college football tailgate, ESPN Radio. We're going to be in Nashville on Saturday for Texas and Vanderbilt. But we got a lot going on here, football-wise. Dolphins, Tua's returning here on Sunday. Hurricanes, FSU, Saturday night.
Don't sleep on that. There is big games going on all over this country. By the way, Tyreek Hill said he almost cried when Tua came back on the practice field. We'll talk about him Sunday morning live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But, AB, I need to see that graphic. Because at DraftKings, here's what it looks like tonight. -2.5, the Vikings on the road. We've been seeing a lot of road favorites this year in the NFL. The total sitting at 47.5. What's your initial take for tonight's game here in L.A.?
After breaking this game down, this will be decided by the defensive line against an offensive line on both sides. The Vikings, the number 1 pressure defense in the NFL, number 2 in sacks, number 1 in interceptions, and Matthew Stafford has O-line issues everywhere. This is a man's game tonight.
It certainly is. And Z, let me come over to you because Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp got hurt basically at the same time. But Cooper Kupp back after 4 games, ankle says to be 100%. Puka might be on a play count, but at least they have their weapons back tonight.
Look, they only have 2 wins on the season, Los Angeles, but like you just mentioned there, they're getting 2 major weapons back. They're at home, so you're going to have a riled-up crowd that feels, hey, this is a must-win situation. You can't lose any more games at this point of the season when you only have 2 wins. Matthew Stafford has not been good so far this season. It's been injuries going on there as well. And then you talk about a short week. Minnesota, really last 2 weeks, has not played very well. And, of course, they suffered their first loss last week. I think the line looks a little bit fishy, Vikings -2.5. I think a lot of people look at that and say, wow, how can the Vikings only be favored by 2.5? And I think there's a reason for that tonight. So I think the Rams get a big boost tonight.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think, Charles, all week, what have we heard? The rumor mill is going on. Cooper Kupp could be shipped out of town. We've even heard Matthew Stafford, perhaps. So if they win tonight, does that rumor mill chatter stop? Because they would just be, well, I guess, 1 game back of first place in their division, Charles.
I would think it would have to, especially getting both their receivers back. I think it would halt that, knowing that the 49ers are struggling with injuries and then the Seahawks are right in within reach and then the Cardinals are right there. I think it would have to put a halt to it. Now, if they lose, all bets are off. But I think if they win, yeah, I think that it kind of halts that any trade discussion going forward for the time being.
Subi, let me come over to you. You're our fantasy guy, and it's a little difficult to play a player that's playing on Thursday nights. But tonight, We got Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold has been good. But what about on the Rams side? Is there anybody with them coming back from injury that you're seeing that fantasy owners are playing a lot of?
Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, two of the best receivers in the game. I have both guys on several teams. I took them off my IR. They are in my lineup. When they're a great player, it doesn't matter if they're on a snap count, they can make things happen. Both those guys should be in your lineup tonight.
All right, very good. Let's get into our picks for the night. AB, I want to start with you because whenever you have a night where guys are, teams are short rest and then you've got weapons coming back, they might not be all on the same page. That could spell what?
Spell turnovers, coach, and that's what I'm expecting tonight. We're going to play the Vikings and the Rams over 2.5 turnovers at plus 105. This could be fumbles, interceptions, offense, defense, special teams, you name it. And like I said, both quarterbacks are going to be under fire tonight, and I am not kidding about that whatsoever. We're also going to play the Vikings and the Rams, either team to attempt a 2-point conversion tonight at plus 125. The Rams, kicker issues. The Vikings, not so much, but this is going to be a weird game. And we don't have to make it to be successful. It just has to be attempted by either team.
I feel like we've been saying that a lot on Thursday night as of late, and it's been living up to expectations. Jesse in the chat says, I'm staying away from the spread, but that over 47.5 looks kind of nice. Now, Obi Laker says, AB, I got 2K on the Vikings. Obi Laker, I'm looking at you. You're going to cash, big boy. I love the Vikings. Now, a little bit juicy. Sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. Now, you might be telling yourself, Coach, why do you have two different plays as far as you and Z-Man? Because we don't talk before the show. We want you to make up your minds for yourself. Listen to the information and play what you like. And Z, let me come over to you. You're opposite me. I respect it. I would love to hear why you like these three plays so the good people at home can make up their own mind.
Well, like I just told you, I think the line's a little bit fishy, the 2.5. I think the Rams are getting a big boost. I like the home team tonight. So you know what? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Let's go with the underdog at home. Let's go Rams money line. Daddy's got to pay this mortgage somehow. So Rams money line plus 125. And then, if I think the Rams are going to win the game, the next two, numbers are pretty self-explanatory. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points in this one. I'm thinking mid-40s total. I like the Rams over 23.5 plus money and Vikings under 23.5 at plus 120. So there you go. I'm not trying to make things complicated here. I'm just trying to get some winners, Coach.
I feel you, kid. I feel you. Now, there's a lot of different sports books, and again, we're trying to teach you how all of the world works. You can play alternate lines. You can move the number around a little bit, and it will change the juice. So, Charles, let me come over to you. You're playing a team total 2 points lower, but yet the juice now is minus 135. Explain that, please.
Rams team total over 21.5 in the game where I expect Matthew Stafford and the Rams to put up points. Especially going against the zone-based defense, which we know that Flores loves to play out of, and Stafford has notoriously carved up. I think that they put up at least 22 or more, and this Vikings defense has allowed 22 or more in two of their last three outings. So yeah, I love the over 21.5 for the Rams team total.
All right, Dirty Reg 22. I think you're cooking up a doozy, Coach. A couple of weeks ago, Dirty Reg, we had the Bucks and the Falcons. A lot of people in the chat being very negative. I'm not looking forward to the game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then what happened? 36-30 in overtime, and Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield went bananas. I feel like we could have the same thing here tonight. Soupy, big boy, coming over to you. You're all over the Vikings tonight. Talk to me.
Vikings are 5th in first half points per game at 16. The Rams, they are 20th in first half points allowed. They're 28th in first half points scored. That'll be a little bit better now that you have Kupp and Puka back. That offense can go aerial now. And then if I'm taking the Vikings to be ahead in the first half, I'm going to take them to get to 20 points because they've scored 20 points in each game this year, and they have not allowed 20 points to non-conference opponents. They allowed it to the Lions, the Packers, two teams that are familiar with them. The Rams aren't so much, so I got them getting 20 points first in this game.
Can I just say this right now that this is the first game all year, AB, where our entire crew is really split down the middle. I mean, we got plays. I mean, our recap screen tomorrow is going to be what it is, but it's not going to truly tell the story of what the show hashtag it pays to watch live. Why do you think all of us are seeing this in different ways on different sides?
Injuries for the most part. And you've got teams that are coming off of losses. You've got teams that are playing on a short week. And you've got a coaching staff with the Rams who've won a Super Bowl. Sean McVay is a smart dude, man. And these two coaches know each other as well. This is going to be a great game tonight, man. Great game.
There are 5 former assistants of Sean McVay that have become NFL head coaches. And when I look at it tonight, there is a stat. I saw there's a lot of people I love on social media. There's a lot of people I don't love on social media. But when you come off playing the Detroit Lions, it's something like 0-8 or 0-9 because they're so physical when a team the week right after a Detroit Lions game. And the Vikings just lost 31-29 to the Lions on Sunday. Does that play in a little bit to your thought process of backing the Rams tonight?
You know, I believe that stat. I didn't know about it before just now. It makes sense, though. You know, I feel like over the last couple years, the 49ers were a team like that also, that coming off a game against them, you would wind up losing. For me, I think both these teams are still kind of an enigma. You know, I think that's why you get such a discrepancy in the plays for all of us. You know, the Rams at 2-4, I think we all think they should be better. We know the injuries are a main reason for that. But, you know, is it also the end of this Super Bowl contending window for them? I think they're a bit of an enigma. Then you look at Minnesota. All right, they were 5-0, but the last 2 weeks, they didn't really play so well. They snuck past the Jets. And, of course, they lost. Great game last week to the Lions. But most importantly, Sam Darnold has not been very good these last 2 weeks. This kind of feels like a spot where the Vikings could hit a 2-game skid on the road, short week. So I think it's really about these two teams are still kind of an enigma at this point of the season.
Brian says, dang, Z, enigma. That's a big word for us in the chat. It kind of is. You got to understand where our level mentally is in the
Look,
chat.
he spelled it right. I thought he was going to butcher the spelling there. He did a good job.
Charles, let me come over to you because the way the NFL does their schedules, it's why Tom Brady always played Peyton Manning. They try to change playoff teams up every year, and that's why it's so amazing when teams like the Chiefs or the Patriots are able to do it every year when they have top flight schedules. You look at the Rams right now. If they can win tonight at Seattle, home against Miami, at New England, home against Philly, at the Saints, home against Buffalo, at San Francisco, sub 500, at the Jets, home against Arizona and Seattle. That is not exactly murderer's row. So if they can get healthy and start playing good, maybe this season is not lost for the Rams.
I don't think it's lost at all. I definitely think that they can go on the run. They have the right locker room, the right players, the right coaching staff. So they have the belief also. So when you have Stafford and Kupp and McVay, so I definitely think that they can go on a run, especially in this division and in this conference. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then on the other side, I got about 30 seconds, Soupy, but the Vikings are just the opposite. They've got 4 teams, including themselves, that could be playoff teams. Every game matters so much right now.
Every game is important because that division, I think, will have 3 teams: Packers, Lions, and the Vikings. I think maybe the Bears are still a little too young. They're going to have a tough schedule because they still have to play all those conference games again. So that's why they need a win like tonight.
They got to play the Bears twice, the Packers twice, the Lions one more time. It's going to be a ring around the rosy of everybody just punching each other right in the mouth. All right, we're just getting started here, and I've got an entire 5 faces on my big screen on Amazon Prime right now. Looks absolutely glorious. Still to come here on the show. We've got matchups, receivers, rushing, quarterbacks. And you know we're the only place with the no-fly zone. And also, I'm getting serious tonight. Is it me? Is it Z? Is it Charles? Is it Soupy? Is it AB for the second time? Who's going to get a big old diamond next to their name? It's time to get serious. It's DTL Prime Time. Prime Time. Live only on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there who hang out with us on our YouTube page, you know you like a little parlay courtesy of DK. AB, where are we going to tonight with the away team?
Let's take a look at the Vikings here. All right, have some fun. Some 2-leg parlays. See what we've got. All right, first off, Vikings money line. Justin Jefferson, anytime touchdown, plus 185. Vikings money line, Justin Jefferson, 100 plus receiving yards, plus 300. Or Vikings with the spread, 2.5. And then Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson both score touchdown, plus 500. So, Z-Man, I'll throw it to you first, buddy. What do you got?
Well, I like the Rams to win the game, so I'm not going to go with Vikings money line. All right, so this is a tough one for me. So let's pull back on that part of it, and I'll tell you that I like the Justin Jefferson 100 plus receiving yards. So for the crew out there, if you do like the Vikings to win this game, I go with the second one there because I also like Justin Jefferson 100 plus receiving yards. Let's do it like that.
Yeah, that's a great point, too. And the reason that we put these together is to find pieces, right? You might not like the specific parlays, but you see the different pieces that you could put together in your own. And the Rams secondary, one of the worst teams in the NFL at giving up big chunk plays to wide receivers. All right, Soupy, coming over to you. Which one do you got?
I'm going with the big one. I like Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson to score. I don't like his 100 yards. He's only done it once this year.
All right. Big Chuck, what do you got?
I'm going to go the plus 300, the Vikings money line, and Justin Jefferson, 100 plus receiving yards. So, yeah, for show purposes, plus 300.
All right. Coach, what do you like?
I'm listening to Z. I love Justin Jefferson. And I know they haven't given up a lot, but tonight he's going to go off. It's national TV. And, of course, I'm on the Vikings money line already, so I'm going to take plus 300.
Yeah, I'm going with the last one. 2.5, Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson. I think it's a big Vikings night. I'll take it plus 500, Coach.
Hey, I mean, if that happens, maybe the total is the way that we need to go. I don't know. And I think we need to block Japan in the chat. I've had enough of his garbage because I don't think you're getting in the club all season. Get your jacket. I don't want you to catch a cold out in the street. That hurts. That really hurts. I mean, not a lot, but it does hurt just quite a bit. All right, you guys know what we're doing on the other side of this break. There's only one. It's never been duplicated, never replicated. We're back on Stadium in 2 seconds.
Let's jump into the no-fly zone here and take a look at the Rams secondary against Sam Darnold, okay? The Rams, not too bad, but they give up a ton of chunk plays to big wide receivers. So take a look at Justin Jefferson tonight. But you see Sam Darnold here. This is last week against the Lions. Not bad. 22-27, 259, 1-1. This is an offense that is moving left to right and, quite frankly, is moving deeper down the field as they go. 3 weeks ago, this was a 10 yards and in offense. You're starting to see a little bit more, 13 yards, 15 yards. Look at that one, 50 yards down the field. He's starting to get his feel. But take a look at what the Rams are going to do, okay? The Rams will bring pressure tonight too. Don't worry about that. Sam Darnold throwing to his short left. We just mentioned this is a throwing to his right-handed QB offense that goes with the body. So throwing across his body, short left, could be trouble. Throwing deep, look at those numbers. He is below league average. Deep left, deep mid, deep right, and that's where the Rams, they can get you, and they can also give up big ones too. But that intermediate area is beautiful and green. That's where Sam Darnold needs to live. So tonight, game scripts, what you'll see, the rush is coming, buddy. You'd better be ready. Look for elevated Sam Darnold rushes. His number is at 3.5, but at minus 150, it's a little juicy. Use Aaron Jones in the passing game. He'll run, but use him as a receiver. It will alleviate that rush and then exploit the Rams secondary deep where you can. All right. Interception rating 3 out of 5. Now, jump Matthew Stafford. Look at this last week against the Raiders. All to the left. Literally all to the left. But Matthew Stafford can make throws all over the field. The problem is this, all right? You see the Vikings secondary? It's pretty darn good, okay? Take a look at his chart. Matthew Stafford is going to have trouble left side, middle of the field. It's going to be rough. I'm telling you, Matthew Stafford will have no room or time tonight because at left guard, he's starting an undrafted free agent. At center, he's starting a rookie that has to go on a short week. At right guard, he's starting a guy that is injured. Their offensive line is horrific, and the Vikings defense is the best in the NFL at everything. Bringing rush, Brian Flores will bring it. Matthew Stafford, the pocket is going to be hell tonight up the middle. You're going to see them use pre-snap motion. I'm not kidding. On every single play. that gives Matthew Stafford an extra look at where the rush is coming because, Matthew, I'm freaking serious. The rush is coming. And if the Vikings get out to a lead of 10 points in this game, Matthew Stafford might not finish this game. And I'm not kidding. It's that serious. Use screens, jet sweeps, and stay out of trouble because right up the middle, buddy, it is going to be hell. 4 out of 5 stars for Stafford to throw a pick.
Yeah, you may want to have the Rams may want to look to see what the Lions did a week ago. They trailed by 10, then went 21 straight, and then it got very, very back and forth down the road. Z, let me come over to you because we're seeing that. First, let's start with Stafford because now that he's got both receivers back, Puka Nacua on one side, Cooper Kupp, maybe he'll diversify a little bit and not just look to the left and kind of spread it out just a little bit tonight.
It's hard, right? Because I think we thought that last year once Cooper Kupp returned from injury. And it's almost, you know how like in the NBA when you got two superstars who are playing together but don't really fit, and you get a lot of my turn and my turn and my turn and my turn, and they don't really work together. You got one guy who has the huge night, and then another night it'll be all the other guys has a huge night. That's kind of what we saw last year. We didn't get very many games of they're both these massive threats out there. And look, that could be because of choices that the defense decides to make. They decide to take that guy away, and we'll take our chances with that one. But for whatever the reason, I think if you're a Rams fan, and certainly if you're playing the Rams, you'd like to begin now that both of them are back and almost fully healthy. You'd like to see Stafford be able to find both of them consistently the entire night.
And you're coming off a night 154 yards and 14 completions. Soupy, that's ridiculously low for a guy of his caliber. So tonight, maybe the numbers are down for the books, and maybe potentially it's a spot we can play a couple of overs because his numbers have been so low.
I think we could play the overs just because they have Kupp back, they have Puka Nacua back. And I'm favoring Cooper Kupp tonight because that Vikings pass rush is no joke. AB mentioned it. There's going to be a lot of short passes to Kupp. I even like Colby Parkinson's, the tight end, quick fades. I don't know if Nacua is, especially on a snap count, is going to have much of a night. But if Stafford's going to need to throw, he's going to need to throw it quick.
So if he throws it quick, Charles, I got 22.5. Not very juicy. Would you like that completion number for Stafford?
Absolutely. I think he's going to be getting the ball out, especially like I mentioned, this Vikings defense, they like to come in the zone. So it's going to be plenty of opportunities for Stafford to get those short completions everywhere around, spread it around. So, yeah, I love that for Stafford. I definitely think he gets at least 23 tonight.
Let's go over to Sam Darnold now, AB. And it's you hardly ever see exact same yardage for both quarterbacks, but it's because the season yardage is 1370 and 1392, but neither guy is averaging this for the season. When you think about it, 6 games, 220. Why are the numbers this high when on average they haven't come close to this?
Well, it's because, number one, Matthew Stafford could be in a throw offense all night long. He might have to pass if they get down quick because look, the Rams are one of the worst teams in the NFL at scoring in the first quarter and the first half of games, and the Vikings can get out there and score. And if the Rams play from behind, their best player is Kyren Williams. All right. And if you can't use him, all right, because he's not really a receiving running back. He's a hard-nosed 3 yards, 2 yards a carry running back. So Stafford might have to throw all night long if they're playing from behind. Sam Darnold, all right, he's facing a Rams secondary that can give up a ton of yardage and a ton of broken tackles. So you're going to see yak, you're going to see dudes going deep, and you're going to see him playing multiple. And Aaron Jones, one of the best receiving running backs in the NFL, and they can line up with Ty Chandler back there too. That's why you see that number.
It's still hard to think about Aaron Jones in a Vikings uniform when he played so many times in the Packers uniform. I feel like we're sleeping on the offense Z of the Vikings every single game this year. I'll rip it down for you. 28, 23, 34, 31, 23, and 29. This is a really good, explosive scoring offense.
Yeah, and I know Soupy mentioned that Justin Jefferson has only had the 100-yard receiving game so far this season, but that makes me feel confident. Like he's due. Let's go already. You know, I like that that's the case. And, if we're looking at the numbers that are up there right now, okay, so we're expecting Sam Darnold to throw the ball a lot. I like minus 120 for an interception. He's had 3 straight games with an interception, and 5 out of 6 games this season, he's thrown an interception. So odds are pretty high he's going to throw an interception.
And there's something about this stadium. I don't know, Charles, if how big it is, but when teams come to play here, you almost always see multiple interceptions. It's the depth, it's something. But they talk about a lot on the local news out here. It's not a national story, but it's a local story. And Sam Darnold, he's never been a guy that you look at and say, man, he's really dynamic. But I like Z's thought of playing that interception, only laying 20 cents.
I love it. I've been riding to Darnold to throw a interception prop the last few weeks, especially him coming back home. He may even be pressing. So, yeah, I think we see primetime picks. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on both sides, but I especially like Darnold to throw one up tonight.
Soupy, are either one of these quarterback fantasy quarterbacks this week?
I think Darnold more just because I love their offensive line. 2.7 seconds in the pocket. That is the most in the league. It allows him to find time to find Jefferson, to find Addison, or to find Jones in the flat. I'm taking Darnold. I think Stafford will have a better night just because he does have Puka and cutback, but I'm not 100% confident in throwing him in my lineup if there are better options.
Okay. TJ says no one runs on the Vikes. Interesting. Like Addison over... What's that?
They don't.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No. I was agreeing. Like,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. So we have a couple of minutes left, and it's funny because both of these teams are still very much alive in their divisions. Not every team can say that. In the West right now, AB, what team do you think is actually at full strength? Because the Rams should be at full strength tonight. Who do you think is actually the best team right now?
The 49ers. I still think that they are. But here's the problem is that they have dudes that keep dropping, man. And the quarterback, how long is Brock Purdy going to play great? I don't know. I still give them the nod, but
when Pearsall's your number one guy, I don't know if he even can. Z, come over to him. Give me both of them on both sides because, this NFC North is awesome. And all the teams, if you just put them in a blender and you said, hey, they all could be playoff teams, I would believe you. Who's the best in both?
Everyone knows I love a good power ranking. And right now, number one team for me is the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. And I would tell you on the AFC side, I think the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the AFC. I know head-to-head with Kansas City that KC won the opening game. Heck, not only did KC beat Baltimore, KC has no losses and Baltimore has 2 losses. But I'm believing what my eyes are telling me. And I'm watching this Ravens team last week, and Derrick Henry, he's a monster. And he's like the fastest guy still. This Baltimore team looks like the best team in the AFC to me.
Lamar Jackson came out this week, and he said that Derrick Henry very much is in position to break the all-time rushing record.
I think he's the MVP of the league right now, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, so does Raphael.
He's the MVP.
Yeah, there's 13 quarterbacks apparently ahead of them. AB, go.
Let me just say, Derrick Henry's already ran for 2,000 yards in a season, which only 8 people have ever done, and he didn't even finish in the top 5 of the MVP. They didn't get it then. They're not going to give it to anybody.
Voters don't know. Voters don't know. They don't get it. They just absolutely don't get it. And you know what's going to happen if he breaks it. They're going to say, oh, asterisk, 17 games, not 16 games, a whole 9 yards. Real quick, Soupy, I got 20 seconds. Who's the best for you? I like how Z-Man answered it. Let's go NFC, AFC for you.
I think it's the Lions, too. I wanted to see what they were with Aiden Hutchinson last week. They won. They played great. And then on the AFC side, Coach, I got to say Baltimore. The only problem is, can that defense keep them in contention all season long?
Well, right now at DraftKings, there is plus 400 for the Chiefs. And then the Ravens, I believe, as of 4 o'clock this afternoon, when I looked, plus 800. And then you got the Lions on the other side. But I agree with Z. I think the Lions are the best team, hands down. The only thing that's going to hold them back is Dan Campbell's game management. If he can fix that, I think the Lions will at least get to the Super Bowl this year. All right, still to come on the other side, we've got props, we've got rushing matchups, we got receiving matchups. It's DTL Primetime live on Stadium. All right, you OGs, we continue on. We've talked about the Vikings parlays, but now we got to give Z-Man a little something to sink his teeth into. AB, what do we got?
Let's let Z-Man play in this one. All right. So we got the Rams side here. First one, Rams plus 2.5. All right. Kyron Williams, anytime touchdown plus 175. Rams, 2.5. Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown plus 300. And then the Rams money line and Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdowns in the air or more at plus 700. So Z-Man, what you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, Stafford at 3+ touchdowns is a little too rich for me. So I think Cooper Kupp's going to have a big game. So if that's the case, let's also say he scores a touchdown as well. So let's go with the middle option plus 300.
There we go. Soupy, what do you like?
The only one I like is the plus 300. I don't like Kyron Williams to score tonight, but I think in the passing situation, get that underneath the cup. I think he scores tonight.
There we go. Big Chuck.
Yeah, I like that plus 300 also, but I'm going to play a little bit more conservative with the plus 2.5 and Kyron Williams anytime touchdown at the plus 175.
Okay. He has a touchdown, I believe, in what? 9 straight games? Coach, which one are you feeling?
As Charles likes to say, for show purposes only, this actually could both hit. The Rams plus 2.5, that middle one plus 300. Cooper Kupp, when he's fresh and he's healthy and he finds the end zone, he's dynamic. So I can see him scoring very easily tonight. The Rams could be a 1-point game, and then mine could still play, and then only Z wouldn't be happy with that. But
I'll live.
I don't care if you're happy, Z.
I'll live.
He'll live. He'll live.
I got a lot going for me. I'll be all right.
I mean, you are going to be at Texas Vandy. None of the rest of us are going to be there. Are you kidding me right now? Every week I get more and more jealous of you. Like every week.
I think this weekend is, from what I'm told, I've never been to Nashville, and everyone is giving me the tips on the bars on Broadway. I mean, we're just bar hopping tomorrow nights. All right, I'm getting liquored up at each spot.
Just go to the street. Just get to Broadway. Go ahead.
Yeah, me and AB may or may not have at one point bought multiple hot dogs at 2:30 in the morning on a side street in Nashville. That could have happened. Oh my God. I still feel those right now. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, we have crossed the bottom of the hour. We are back live on Stadium, Amazon Prime Video, YouTube TV, Roku TV, the Stadium app. I got the best crew in the game, Z, Soupy, Charles, AB. Everybody's here tonight. Now, we do our straight picks at the top, but I know there's a lot of you out there that don't like to do that. You like to prop it up, and we've got a segment that's actually called that exact thing. Oh, I love that. AB, big boy, you got 3. Let's start with you. What do you like tonight?
Aaron Jones, first off, over 3.5 receptions at plus 120. He's a great running back in terms of catching the ball, and they're going to use him tonight, especially with a lead. Next, I like Sam Darnold over 21.5 completions. Low number for him, minus 105. I think that they have the ball almost the entire game. And then finally, Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford, over 1.5 interceptions at plus 105. If you're new to this one, you can get 2 from Darnold, you get 2 from Stafford, you get 1 from each. Doesn't matter. We just got to get to 2 with these 2 quarterbacks. They're going to be picks thrown tonight. I wanted Coach to play Darnold over 3.5 rush attempts, but it's almost minus 160 now.
Oh, that's way too juicy. Way too juicy. Yeah, I think the books think they're going to win. Obviously, they think they're going to win. So those 3 rush attempts at the end of the game that you always educate us on could come into play tonight. Little juicy. Now, I love, and I just can't wait to hear Z's explanation for Cooper Kupp, because he's out there. His name's out there. And when your name is out there and you've got multiple teams that potentially could want your services, then you need to show up and show out. Z, you're up.
His name's on the street. My name's on the street. My name's my name. My name's my name. Shout out to everyone who understands that reference. Cooper Kupp, 90+ receiving yards, making his return. I kind of just feel like I feel like the conversation is going to shift to, all right, Cooper Kupp, he made his return. He's been in trade rumors, and now he just showed out. So you got to up the ante if you want to get your hands on Cooper Kupp. So, yeah, I'm going to play Cooper Kupp, 90+ receiving yards at plus 220, and I'm all over the Rams this evening. So let's also go with Kyron Williams, 90+ rushing yards. I'm going plus money on each of them, plus 215. We're trying to get after it tonight, all right? Scare money don't make money. So Cooper Kupp, 90+ receiving yards. Kyron Williams, 90+ rushing yards.
If you are new and you're kind of looking at the screen a little bit confused, DraftKings was one of the first sports books that gives you like in 10 yard increments, and they changed the juice. So that's what Z-Man has done. He's playing 90 plus, and you see the juice is plus 220. A normal prop would be minus 110 or somewhere around there. So DK has these, a couple other books do, but it's a great way, like Z, if you think a player is going to have a much bigger game than his number, then you can raise that and get better juice. Really smart, Z. Really smart. Now, John says in the chat, enjoy Broadway, Z, man. Say hey to the bachelorette party. Woo, girls, for me. It is the bachelorette party capital of the world. That part gets a little annoying.
I don't know. It get annoying. That seems like fun on a Friday night for me.
You're gonna have a blast. Just get to Broadway. That's all you got to do. It takes care of itself.
I'm gonna find somewhere to post up. I'm gonna watch World Series game number 1. I think I'm in the right spot.
Tootsie's live music, 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. They never not have live music.
All right.
Tootsies.
All right.
Tootsies. Lillian Garcia once sang there back on her first stint in the WWE. Swear to God.
Okay.
Love Tootsies. All right. Now let's come down to you, Charles. You're also on Cooper Kupp. You're also on Aaron Jones. What do you like tonight?
I'm going to take the more conservative route. Cooper Kupp over 68.5 receiving yards. He was averaging 74 per game before his injury and playing against his Flores defense. I expect plenty of catches and yards in this game. And then Aaron Jones over 24.5 receiving yards. He is averaging almost 4 targets a game and has cashed his prop in 3 of his last 5 outings. I expect the Rams to try and take away the run and force Darnold to have to pass, which certainly helps us cash this play.
Educate and entertain. That's exactly what Big Chuck is doing for all of you if you're paying attention. And I write it down, and I'm the host of this damn show. I got my paper and I got my pencil. Now, Soupy, you got 3 plays. Explain yourself.
I don't like Kyron Williams tonight. He's only averaging 3.8 yards per carry. He's a volume-based guy, and the Vikings are allowing the fewest carries in the league, and they've only allowed 8 rushes of 10 or more yards. That is the second fewest. That's why I don't think he gets there. Under 13.5 is his longest rush. And then give me Justin Jefferson. What the Vikings are going to do is they're going to move him around. He's 60% as a wideout, 30% in the slot. They're going to give him the best matchup. Yes, he is going to go over 82 yards receiving. And then let's go with the defense. Jared Verse under 5.5 tackles and assists. He's more of a pass rusher. He only averages 20 snaps against the run, and he's only gone over 5 in just 1 game this year. So give me Jared Verse under 5.5 tackles and assists.
Less than 17% for you math majors out there that he goes under. Now, there may be other numbers, other plays, under props for certain players that maybe you want to sink your teeth in. We always match up the number 1 rusher, the number 1 rusher from both teams. So let's go there right now. And I believe tonight we're doing Kyron Williams, and I believe we're doing Aaron Jones. There it is right there. So, AB, as we look at those, and yellow numbers always kind of blink for us, anything that you're kind of leaning into for either guy here?
I like Aaron Jones here. Look, I agree with Soupy in regards to this Vikings defense. It is number 1 in pressure, number 1 in interceptions, number 3 in sacks, number 2 in rushing defense, and the defensive line is the heart of the team. This is how versatile that they are. They could line up 4 defensive tackles and stop all of your run, and then they could bring out the NASCAR package and they bring 4 defensive ends and just hammer your quarterback. It's unbelievable, man. I'm going anything on Aaron Jones. I'm staying away from Kyron Williams. It could be a brutal night for him.
All right, Drew Campbell. We'll get to that in a second, or the wrong one. Soupy, coming back to you. John says, I'm with you, Soupy. I'm on Kyron under 74.5 rush yards. Anything else here? Because I think Z's getting ready to buck up because he likes Kyron Williams tonight. Anything else for either two guys, Soupy? Because you're my expert when it comes to playing that fantasy card.
I'm like an Aaron Jones. He scored last week. It was his first touchdown since week 1. I think he gets it again tonight. I think he could get the first touchdown of the game, but that's too chalky for us, so we can't take that. But I'm taking Aaron Jones for a big night.
Way, way too chalky for us. And by the way, public service announcement. You can't play an anytime touchdown at minus 205. Don't do it. Don't want to hear you bitch about it. Z, let me come back over to you because Soupy looked right at you and he said, Z, not tonight. Anything else you like here, though? Because I know you do like Kyron Williams tonight?
Yeah, I'm not scared. You can't be scared. Kyron Williams over 71.5 rushing yards. Obviously, I'm going with that because we're rolling with 90+ rushing yards for that real money with Kyron Williams. So I like the rushing total, 71.5. And you know what? If I like him to get over 90, I'm probably interested in his longest rush being over 13.5 yards as well.
Boom. That's exactly right. There's going to have to be at least one or two 18, 19-yard rush to get to your number. Those always coincide. Normally, you don't get 25 rushes for 94 yards. You don't normally get. Not in today's NFL. All right, Charles, let me come over to you. I know you like to really sink your teeth into these.
On the Aaron Jones on the attempts, I like the under 16.5 and that anytime touchdown, they just stick out. And if you're looking at Kyron Williams, you know he's going to score a touchdown. I think he may even get 2. So that plus 265 really pops for Kyron Williams to get 2+ touchdowns.
Woo, woo, 2 touchdowns. Remember the last time we were talking about Derek was, he's not going to get 2 touchdowns. And every time, Z, I brought you up a couple times on the show this week. Remember last week you said, at some point, he's got to have regression. And he just keeps popping 150, 160 yards. It's bananas.
Yeah, what do I know? I barely follow sports. What do I know?
Let's flip it over now to the receivers. And we've got some studs here tonight. I mean, we're talking about future Hall of Famers. In Justin Jefferson, he got his bag in the offseason. He's happy. He got paid, and now he's showing out. Then Cooper Kupp, first game back. He's missed 4 in a row. AB, your thoughts on these numbers?
All right, so Cooper Kupp, we're all so used to him running deep routes, right? 35.5, 40 yards, right? They're going to use him very short routes. Matthew Stafford's not going to have time for Cooper Kupp's normal double route tree here. So you're going to see him on the left-hand side, all right? Very short routes. Now, Justin Jefferson, the opposite. I love his longest reception, over 29.5 yards. I'm not saying it'd be a bad game for Kupp. I'm just saying it's a different route tree than what you're expecting. I like JJ to go deep.
Do you remember that first long touchdown he had this year and the referee or the official ran faster than he did all the way down the field? I mean, that was a viral video if I've ever seen one. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Z, let me come over to you because Justin Jefferson, I agree with you that the fact that he hasn't gone bananas more than once this year feels like tonight, national TV, he's a guy that loves the spotlight.
Yeah, so I already said I like a big game out of Jefferson. I'm willing to play him 100+ yards. So we like over 87.5. But I think I'm with AB on the way that the Rams are going to use Cooper Kupp, a lot of short routes. And if that's the case, let's go over 6.5 receptions for Cooper Kupp. This could be a nice, 8 catches for, I think it's going to have a big game, but you could see some 8 catches for 70 yards where we're getting a lot of short stuff. So let's go with that.
You're right inside my head right now. That's exactly how I was thinking, Z. I really was. Charles, let me come over to you because that reception, when Cooper Kupp is really healthy and hopefully his ankles are, he's very hard to stay within that first 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. I love that over 6.5 also.
I love it. I think they're going to be playing off of him. I was tempted to go with the 6.5, but it was just a little too juicy. So that's why I went with the reception yards, but I couldn't agree more with the receptions. And then Justin Jefferson, the receiving yards, the over 87.5. I love that. And that anytime touchdown, because what we've been seeing, he's been getting those long receptions and taking it to the house. So you could probably even get one close to cashing both in one with that one as well.
Soupy, I got about 30 seconds for you.
When I was doing my prop picks, the over Cooper Kupp receptions was my honorable mention. So I'm definitely taking that tonight. And I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, definitely over, and I'm going to give him a touchdown over receptions.
Man, the more we're talking tonight, guys, the more we're looking at it. And I know that one of my sayings, and we have a t-shirt, I hate unders, but I'm starting to feel like the over might be a sneaky play. Because there's some guys that really need to show out tonight. There's some guys that really need to progress tonight. And both teams desperately need to win to stay in their respective divisions. All right, when we come back, we take a quick look at our next primetime game Sunday night. Woo, Cowboys and 49ers. And also, who's going to get into the club next? It's Primetime Live, only on Stadium. All right, we continue on with you degenerates out there on our YouTube channel. AB, I love when we get to the third break of the show. Our live number is bananas tonight. Thank you all very much for that. Are we doing? Oh, it's my favorite thing, AB. Let's go.
You're the best of the game at it, too. All right, so anybody that is brand new to points bands, all right, you're essentially picking the final score for each team. And which band does it fall in? If the Rams won 20-17, all right, 11-20 would cash for both teams. So I'm not going to read all of them here. You can do that on the screen, but I'm going to ask each person to pick one for either side. So, Coach, you go last here because this is your bread and butter. All right, Z-Man, throw it to you first. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to do both sides, all right? So I'm going the same range, 21 to 30 points for each team. So plus 135 Rams, plus 130 Vikings.
Okay. Soupy, what do you like?
The more I'm looking at this game, I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm going Vikings 41-50, and I'm going to go Rams 21-30. I really do think now this is going to be a big scoring game.
70 points. All right. There
Yeah,
we go.
I really do. I think
Big Chuck.
Yeah, I'm right with Zaslow. I like the 21-30 for both teams, the plus 135 and the plus 130 for the points bands.
All right. Coach, what do you like?
AB, have we lined people up for the drug testing here at DTL? Because I feel like Soupy needs one over there. 41-50.
I think
My
they can
God.
get 42 points. I think the Vikings get 42 points.
All right, I'm going to make a note of that. We'll be on the show tomorrow morning together, big boy. I'm going to go 31-40 for the Vikings, and I'm going to go 21-30 for the Rams. I think this does get into the 50s though. So I think plus 300 and plus 135.
I'm going to go 21-30 for the Vikings, and I'm going to go 0-10 for the Rams. I think this could be a bad night for Los Angeles. If they play from behind, it could get rough, dude. This defense, no joke.
Wow, that takes guts. It takes guts right there. 0-10. I tell you what, if they only score 0-10, that SoFi crowd, because LA is popping right now. Everybody's here. Everybody's talking about everything. Lakers, Dodgers, Yankees. Yeah, the Clippers last time. I mean, everybody's popping. If they only score 7 tonight, we're back on stadium in 5 seconds. All right, we are back on stadium, having a great hour so far. What a good vibe. What a good energy with 4 of our absolute very best. AB, Z, Soupy, Charles. We're all here. So as we look forward to our next primetime broadcast here on Stadium, it's a big one that historically has had some amazing games. Now, in the last 27 years, however, the Cowboys have done squat. 49ers recently have been really good. AB, let me start with you. They're still giving 4, even though Debo was in the hospital with pneumonia. Ayuk tears his ACL. Pierce Alder's number 1 guy right now. But yet, the books do not respect the team coming off their bye week in the Dallas Cowboys. Your take?
First off, I want the under because I think it's very low scoring, and I want the 49ers. Jerry Jones is already starting to blame Mike McCarthy now, which that screams disaster for them. I'm all over the 49ers here.
There was a meme that I saw that said that the Cowboys lost another one. Bye week 24, Cowboys 17. It was very funny. Z, let me come over to you. I'm a little bit surprised that at 3-4, with all of the injuries and all of the guys that are out, that the Niners still are giving 4. I like the Cowboys in a teaser, but am I crazy for that?
No, teaser sounds good, actually, because I don't like the line. I don't have a real good feel for it. I think it's hard to have a real good feel for either one of these teams. I mean, I like the Cowboys more on the road here in this spot than I would if they were at home. I mean, what a dreadful home team they are, the Cowboys. But I look at the total 46. I think there's going to be points scored in this one, so that's where I would go.
I think the Cowboys are going to they're going to right the ship. These coaches and players, they're just too good to be this bad. And by the way, all 3 of their wins this year have been on the road. At home, they've given up over 40 twice, but on the road, they've been pretty good. So I think I agree with Z. I think there's a lot of points. Charles, let me come over to you. Your thoughts?
That's another reason I like the Cowboys on the road. Get away from the from Jerry's world. I like the 4, and originally I was liking under, but the more I'm looking at it as of this moment, I could definitely see some points in that Cowboys team total. So at this very moment, I'm liking the Cowboys on that +4 and that over 47.
I think that we always say, Soupy, we forget that the NFL is very much different than college. That every week, I didn't see that happening, because these are professionals and they show up, and the Cowboys have had 2 full weeks to listen to Jerry Jones' stupid ass talking about, Derrick Henry came here. We don't run this. Shut up, Jerry. Shut up, Jerry. Soupy, your thoughts.
Typical Cowboys. It's all going to depend on Jordan Mason. Can he run up that gut of a depleted Dallas defensive line? If Ricky Pearsall can get some catches, I think they do enough to win this game. But I would still take Dallas with the +4.
All right, a reminder, we are live 10 a.m. Sunday morning only on YouTube, and then Sunday night, 7 Eastern on Stadium. Now, real quick, we like to recap our straight plays, only our straight plays here on the show. So 10 seconds or less, one nugget or less, if we can bring that up, A-B. Z, let's start with you. What do you like straight tonight?
I think the Rams are going to win. Talk about straight up. I think the Rams are going to win on the money line, all right? And if we're looking at the team total points, I think the Rams, I think we're talking mid to high 20s. I think the Vikings low 20s. So Rams plus money over 23.5. Vikings plus money as well under 23.5.
You're taking worse juice, lower total though, Charles, right?
Absolutely. Rams team total over 21.5. Stafford loves playing these zone-based defenses. I think that he gets at least 22. Plus, the Vikings have allowed at least 22 or more in 2 of their last 3 games.
Boom and boom. 31 last week to the Lions. A-B, coming over to you.
This game's going to be like walking into county jail for the first time. You're going to have to fight immediately. It's going to be turnovers, craziness. I'm taking the Vikings Rams over 2.5 turnovers plus 105. That counts interceptions, fumbles, all of it. And we're also going to take a 2-point conversion attempt from either team plus 125. Doesn't have to be successful, just the attempt.
The Vikings, I'm going against all of these numbers about playing after the Detroit Lions. They're 30 seconds away from remaining undefeated. I think they get it done tonight in LA, although it will not be easy. Soupy, coming down to you.
Minnesota scores 16 points in the first half. That's 5th. And if they do that, they could easily get to 20 points before the Rams. Minnesota first half -5 and the race to 20 points in favor of the Vikings.
Okay, we now have arrived. And if you're new to our show, this is where we start to get serious. This is a very serious portion of the program, and we have some people who have flexed their muscles this year. The rest of us are still out on the curb trying to slip a hundo to the security guard just to get in. It's called the gym. It's called the club. AB was the first one to get in. He's got a diamond right above his name. He always gets to go first till somebody gets to. AB, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go quick. Jalen Naylor plus 1,800. He is going to put it in the end zone. It's going to have the defense set on a spin wash, man. Give me my man Naylor. 1,800, a solid play here. Because if you know, you know. This dude catches tutties.
Did you say spin wash? You mean spin cycle?
Yeah, well, he's going to wash the defense, but I did mess that up. Yeah, we were going to try to talk our way out of it. That didn't work either.
All right, now there's been rumors out in these streets that Charles is low-key a hip-hop head in the club. He's been in for a couple of weeks. Big Chuck, where are you going?
Laying the work down, and I'm going to go with Tutu Atwell plus 2,000. I think that he hasn't had a touchdown this season, but I think this could be a sneaky spot, especially with so much attention being paid attention to Kyron and Cup as well. So yeah, give me Tutu Atwell at the plus 2,000 to get that first touchdown.
Z, man, I got a lot of respect for you, big boy. Let's go.
All right. I'm not in the club yet. I'm not just trying to get into the club. I'm trying to get into the club and everybody knows my name. Rams defense or special teams plus 3,000. I walk in that club. I'm going to have the ice on my fingers. I'm going to have it around my neck. I'm going to have a grill. Everyone's going to know who I am when I walk in.
Oh, my God. First of all, line of the night. Second of all, I can see it in my head. The bald head. Z's got all the ice. I mean, you would look like Miami club scene through and through.
Ice out, playa.
Dan says in the chat, crap. I'm with Soupy. All right, Soupy. They've got a lot of confidence in you. You're up.
All right, Dan. First bottle's on you with that remark. Guess who's coming home tonight? It is USC's own Jordan Addison. He is getting us into the club tonight. I just feel it.
And producer man who is off tonight has Puka Nakua. Now, full disclosure, A lot of other people wanted Puka tonight, and producer man, who just happens to send out the email, got in first at plus 1,200. Then for me, it was kind of like just rolling the dice. Nothing I have done has worked, so I'm going to take Colby Parkinson plus 2,000. I just looked at some guys that caught some passes last week, and I said, all right, I like that guy right there. There is no rhyme or freaking reason. All right, we've only got about 75 seconds, 15 seconds for every person. Final recap, Z, go.
I'm looking for a fun game tonight. So we're going to sit on the couch in the Zaslow Mansion family room. I'm going to pour myself a nice little drink. Let's get some green check marks here tonight. Come on.
Pat said Z-Man's head must shine nice and extra in the club. Soupy, go.
Rams win. I think they keep this team intact. If they lose, Cup might be in the Steel City.
Charles, what you got?
I think we're going to see an exciting game, and I think the Rams keep it competitive, put up plenty of points. So, yeah, looking forward to this one.
AB, bring us home.
Watch the Vikings pass rush up the middle. It could be hell tonight. And here's a trivia question. How many touchdowns have the Rams scored the first quarter of this entire season? That would be 0.
Ooh, maybe a first quarter under, perhaps. All right, one last question. Glitch says, you guys actually put those bets in? We sprinkle. I sprinkle on all of them, but only like $5. These are fun bets. So $5, $10, and if they hit, they're all plus 1,000 or higher. So, but they're fun. And we love to preach here at DTL. Betting can be fun. If you do it together, you do it responsibly and money management. So there you go. All right, enjoy the game tonight. We're just getting started. Z-Man, travel safe, and everybody else will see you tomorrow morning for Football Friday. And understand this, as always, there is only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Thursday night football tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lobo, my man from South Florida, Z, the man from the Dirty Big Chuck, the man with the best beard in the game, Soupy, my partner, AB, producer man who still puts together even though he's off tonight. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern and even at night on prime time right here on Stadium. Good luck.